Hello, orchid lovers around the world. Today, I want to share with you a very different kind of story. What I have here is an orchid in extremely poor and likely terminal condition. The plant has undergone a near-total collapse. Most of its once large, beautiful leaves have turned completely brown, shriveled, and crispy, leaving behind only a single small green leaf at the center. This severe loss of foliage tells us something important. It signals that the orchid's ability to sustain itself has all but failed. In most cases, this is the result of crown or stem rot working together with a root system that is no longer functional. And when we look closer at the potting medium, dry, compacted sphagnum moss, it's clear that it can no longer support what little life remains. To start, we're going to carefully remove the plant from its old pot. This is always the first step when dealing with an orchid in such poor condition. Removing it from the pot gives us a clear look at what's happening beneath the surface, and often, the roots will tell the story more honestly than the leaves ever could. Once the pot is off, we'll gently begin peeling away the old substrate, in this case, dried and compacted sphagnum moss. This material can hold moisture for a long time, which is useful when balanced. But in situations like this, it often becomes a trap, suffocating the roots and contributing to rot. As we clear the moss away, we'll take our time, teasing it off strand by strand, careful not to pull too hard and risk damaging what little is left. The goal here isn't speed, it's precision. And while most of what we uncover may be brown, hollow, or papery, don't lose heart. Even a single section of root that's still firm and green can give us hope. That tiny bit of life can be enough to stabilize the plant and give it a chance to recover. Then, once that's done, we'll move on to trimming. For this step, you'll need a pair of clean, sharp shears or scissors. And it's important to make sure they're sterilized before use. A quick wipe with alcohol or a dip in boiling water can help prevent spreading any hidden bacteria or fungus. With your tools ready, carefully examine the roots and any remaining tissue. The goal here is simple. Remove everything that is no longer able to provide nutrients or support for the orchid. In the end, after all the trimming and cleaning, we're left with only a single leaf and a small section of stem. And at first glance, that may feel discouraging. Most plants would not survive in such a fragile state. But this is an orchid we're talking about. Orchids are remarkably resilient. Even with just one healthy leaf and a tiny stem, they have the ability to rebuild themselves from almost nothing. As long as that leaf can photosynthesize, and as long as the crown remains alive, there is hope. Now we're going to give the stem a gentle wash, using a soft water spray. This helps remove any dust, old sap, or hidden bacteria that may still be clinging to the surface. It's important to keep the pressure light. Too strong of a spray can damage the tender tissue, especially when the plant is already weak. Think of it less like blasting the stem and more like rinsing it with a refreshing shower. As the water runs over the stem, you may notice bits of debris or dried tissue being carried away. That's a good sign. It means we're creating a clean surface where new growth can begin. This simple wash does more than just clean. It also rehydrates the plant, giving it a small boost of freshness after all the trimming we've done. Next, we'll be making a special natural solution. And for this recipe, we'll be using a whole onion. Now, most people think of the onion for its flesh, the juicy layers inside that we cook with. But in this case, what we really want is the skin. That thin, papery layer that we usually throw away is actually the most valuable part for our orchid. Take a clean knife, slice through the onion gently, and begin peeling away each layer of skin. Go slowly. The skins can be fragile and tear easily, but don't worry. Even the small pieces will be useful. Place them aside in a clean bowl or container as you go. You may notice the skins come in different shades, some golden, some brown, sometimes even with a reddish tint. All of these carry natural compounds that help fight bacteria and fungus. In fact, onion skins are rich in quercetin, a natural antioxidant that works almost like a shield, protecting the delicate tissue of the plant. Once that's done, take all of the onion skins you've gathered and place them into a clean container. A glass jar or a heat-safe bowl works best. Now, carefully pour in hot water until the skins are fully submerged. The heat will help draw out all those beneficial compounds, turning the plain water into a gentle healing extract. After filling it, close the lid securely. This keeps the steam inside and ensures the nutrients are pulled out more effectively. For an extra touch, wrap the container in a clean towel. This helps keep the heat steady and acts almost like a little greenhouse for the solution. We'll let it sit for about 30 minutes. While we wait for our onion skin solution to finish steeping, we can prepare another powerful ingredient. Take a second clean container and add about 2 teaspoons of plain rice. It can be white rice or brown rice, whichever you have on hand. Next, fill the container with clean water until the rice is fully covered. Then, using a spoon or even your fingers, stir it gently. After 30 minutes, our 2 mixtures are now ready to be combined. Begin with the onion skin mixture first. Pour it slowly through the strainer so that all the skins are caught, leaving behind only the golden-colored liquid. Next, take the rice water we prepared earlier. Gently pour it through the strainer as well. The cloudy liquid mixes beautifully with the golden onion extract, creating a blend that looks simple but is incredibly effective. By straining both, we make sure no bits of skin or grains are left behind. Now that our natural tonic is ready, it's time to put it to use. Take a clean tissue or a soft cloth and dip it carefully into the solution. Make sure it's fully soaked so it can carry all the beneficial compounds. Next, bring the tissue to your orchid. Start by gently wiping along the stem. Move slowly from the base upward. This not only cleans away dust or hidden pests, but also allows the stem to absorb a thin layer of the tonic through its surface. Once we've finished wiping down the leaf and stem, we move to the next step. Take a small, clean container and pour in enough of our prepared solution to cover the orchid's roots or base of the stem. Now, gently place the stem into this container. Make sure it is standing upright and that the lower part is fully submerged. We'll let it sit here for about 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, carefully lift the stem out of the solution. Give it a moment to drip off any excess liquid. Then we move on to the final step of this treatment. Take another clean tissue or soft cloth and dip it once again into the solution. This time make sure it is fully soaked because we're going to use it as a wrap. Gently place the wet tissue around the stem, especially the section just below the leaf. Wrap it snugly, but not too tight. The goal is to keep the stem in constant contact with the nourishing liquid, almost like giving it a healing bandage. Next, secure the stem by gently clamping or propping it so that it stands upright. This prevents it from falling over and ensures the tissue stays in place. As it rests like this, the orchid continues to absorb the solution little by little. Now we prepare a temporary place for the stem to continue growing. Think of this as its recovery chamber. Take a small plastic cup with clear drainage holes at the bottom. This will allow air to flow while preventing excess water from collecting. Pour in just a little water, not too much, only enough to create a light moisture at the base. This gentle humidity will keep the stem from drying out while avoiding the dangers of rot. Next, place the stem carefully inside the cup. Make sure it rests in a stable position. To protect it further, take another cup with drainage holes and place it over the top, sealing the stem inside. This creates a mini greenhouse effect, holding in humidity while still letting air circulate. Finally, secure the stem by clamping it down or propping it gently so it won't fall over. With this setup, the orchid has a safe, stable space to rest, a place where it can slowly begin the process of healing and, in time, producing new growth. After about 14 days, you'll begin to notice something amazing. Look closely under the stem. Tiny new roots will start to emerge, fresh, green tips pushing their way out with strength and determination. These new roots are a clear sign that the orchid has accepted its new environment. It is no longer just surviving, but truly beginning to recover. Even from what looked like a single weak stem, life finds a way to rebuild itself. With each passing day, these roots will grow longer and stronger, anchoring the plant and giving it the foundation it needs for future leaves and eventually flowers. This stage is a reminder that patience pays off. Orchids may take their time, but when you see those first fresh roots, you know the journey toward full recovery has truly begun. Now it's time to prepare a new home for our orchid, a proper pot where it can grow stronger and thrive. Start by choosing a pot with clear drainage holes at the bottom. This is very important because orchids love air around their roots and can't sit in water. Fill the first layer of the pot with chunky pine bark. This creates a loose foundation that allows water to drain quickly while still holding just enough moisture. Next, place a small metal base or support stake in the pot. This will act as the stem's backbone, helping it stay upright as new roots and leaves form. Position the base securely so it can stand firm. For the top layer, spread a thin blanket of moss. This will help hold surface moisture, protecting the tender new roots from drying out too quickly. Finally, take the orchid stem and position it against the metal base. Gently secure it so it can lean on the support without wobbling. You can clamp it down softly if needed. The goal is to give the orchid a stable anchor so it can focus on growing. After the stem is secure in place, we filled the top layer with moss. That thin layer has been working silently all this time, helping to lock in just enough moisture while still letting the roots breathe. This balance is what allowed the orchid to focus its energy on healing and growth. Now from here on out, routine care is absolutely critical. This is the stage where consistency makes all the difference. Your orchid has survived the hardest part, and now it needs steady support to grow stronger. Check the moss layer regularly. If it feels dry to the touch, it's time for a light watering. Avoid overwatering. Orchids prefer a cycle of drying slightly before being watered again. This keeps their roots healthy and active. Every week, take a moment to wipe the leaves and stem gently with your natural solution. This not only keeps the plant clean, but also protects it from pests and encourages healthy photosynthesis. Place the orchid somewhere bright, but not under harsh, direct sunlight. Soft, filtered light gives the leaves energy without burning them. And don't forget airflow. Good circulation around the plant keeps the environment fresh and discourages mold. After 4 weeks, the difference is nothing short of remarkable. The orchid that once looked tired and fragile now shows clear signs of recovery. Every part of the plant quietly whispering that life has returned. The leaves, once soft, wrinkled, and dull, now appear firmer and stronger. You can feel the resilience just by gently touching them. Their color has deepened into a healthier green, a natural glow that tells us photosynthesis is back in full swing. Some leaves may even show a subtle shine, that glossy look orchids display when they are truly thriving. Shift your attention down to the roots. Here is where the most exciting changes happen. The older roots, which once seemed dry and lifeless, are now filling out, plump, hydrated, and alive. Fresh root tips have started to appear, bright green, sometimes silvery at first, pushing their way out like explorers searching for new ground. These root tips are a powerful sign. They mean the orchid is not only stable, but actively building the foundation for future growth. If you look closely at the crown, the very heart of the orchid, you might notice a tender, baby leaf emerging. It may look small now, but it represents the promise of tomorrow, a clear message that the orchid is gathering strength and momentum. Each new leaf means more surface area to capture light, more energy that will later be used to create blooms. And there you have it. In just a few simple steps and a little bit of patience, your orchid can go from struggling to thriving again. Remember, consistency is key, and even the smallest changes you make today can bring big results tomorrow. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with other orchid lovers. Until next time, happy growing, and may your orchids always bloom beautifully.